He had a Harvard PhD. He wrote books about pattern recognition. George Soros called him one of the best traders he had ever seen. In 1997, he lost everything in a single day. Not because markets crashed, not because of bad luck, because he was so certain he was right that he kept doubling down while everyone around him was screaming, "Stop." He didn't hear them. Brilliant people never do. And here's the part that should genuinely scare you. Victor knew about cognitive bias. He had studied it. He had written about it. Knowing about the trap did absolutely nothing to stop him walking straight into it. That's what we're talking about today. Not stupidity. Something far more dangerous. A surgeon in New York, top of his field, 20 years experience, invested his life savings into a friend's business. His colleagues warned him. His wife warned him. His accountant warned him. He had a simple answer for all of them. "I've done my research." 18 months later, the business collapsed. He lost everything he had spent 20 years building. When researchers interviewed him afterwards, he said something that has stuck with me ever since. He said, "I knew I was right. I could feel it." That feeling was the problem. That feeling. That absolute unshakable certainty. That is the intelligence trap in action. Here's exactly how it works inside your brain. Your brain doesn't just make decisions. It makes decisions and then immediately builds a courtroom-level defense for those decisions. Evidence that supports your choice gets amplified. Evidence against it gets quietly buried. The smarter you are, the better lawyer your brain becomes. And you are always both the lawyer and the judge. Psychologists ran an experiment at Stanford. They gave two groups the same study on capital punishment, one supporting it, one against it. Both groups rated the study that agreed with them as rigorous and well-designed. Both groups rated the study that disagreed with them as flawed and poorly conducted. Same study. Completely opposite conclusions. Based entirely on what they already believed walking in. These were Stanford students. The smartest people in the room. And their intelligence made the bias worse, not better. Here's the one that really got me. NASA in 1999 had a spacecraft called the Mars Climate Orbiter. $327 million. 9 months of travel. The mission of a generation. It burned up in the Martian atmosphere because one team was calculating in metric and another in imperial. Nobody caught it. Not because they were careless. Because everyone assumed someone else had checked. In a room full of the most qualified aerospace engineers on Earth, everyone assumed the other genius had handled it. Intelligence created the blind spot. Confidence held it open. So here's the uncomfortable question you should be asking yourself right now. Where in your life are you the hedge fund manager? Where are you the surgeon? Where are you the engineer who assumes someone else checked? Because it's not about IQ. It's not about education. It's about one very specific habit that almost nobody builds. The habit of asking, what would have to be true for me to be completely wrong right now? Not could I be wrong? Everyone says that. What would have to be true for me to be wrong? Force your brain to build the case against itself with the same energy it builds the case for itself. Victor Niederhofer couldn't do it. The surgeon couldn't do it. $327 million of NASA engineering couldn't do it. The question is whether you can. Subscribe if this hit differently.